Yes, Dano's in here. Very nice. Very evil. Very famous. You are watching the channel that is very nice and very evil. The Nation Network. Isn't that good? Yes, it's true. If you are not watching the Nation Network housing, you are... Wait for it. Wait for it. Cursed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McJam with you here, and we are just gonna jump in and mess around a little bit with some of the departing titles here. Not necessarily going, because we're still gonna do Retro Rumble on occasion, but it's probably gonna be a few minutes before I get around to that after today. So, D-Train! It's in the house. It's not available till tomorrow, no. But we're counting down. Got to start somewhere. I figured I'm off the next 5 days. I took my time, some of it anyway, and it's going to be a late night tomorrow, so I figured I'll stay up a little bit later tonight and kind of set myself up for naps in the afternoon so that I got something left in the tank tomorrow come around 10 p.m. And I figured, okay, well, we haven't done 2K18 in a couple of weeks now, and I had made several more roster slots, or created wrestlers, I should say, for roster slots. And I figured we'll do a last run at Name That Cause. So, I'll give you a clue. He's let's see. He's held so many titles. But in the WWF, he was a tag team champion. I'll give you a little shot over here. Comes from a red state. Look at you multitasking. I really want to see, I'll wait till the next day, but New Legacy and just see what the hell they do to that game. Any guesses? Tag team champion in the WWF? And well, let's see. Geez, what did he not hold? He was a U.S. champion in the NWA. He was a world champion in the NWA as well. And again, all these calls are made strictly with what's in the game to work with because you can't upload logos and anything to a dead server. All right, we'll show you. Show you who it was. Good old BW, Barry Windham. So again, they don't have the right hair. That's the closest one you can get. And then I kind of mapped some stuff on there and gave it a little bit of texture. So kind of gives you the bangs effect. That's about as good as I could get with what I have to work with in the game. But otherwise, I was happy with it. He's got a pretty solid moveset down. He's got a unique style and shape to his nose that it's hard to replicate that without having a face scan. But, yeah, there we go. Barry Windham. BW. I think I'll just shoot through some of these other ones that I made so we can move along. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I do to prepare for the upcoming title. So there's a couple of names that I'm going to need. And I know somebody's going to make a really good one eventually. But I'm going to want to probably get one sooner than that. So I'll throw mine together. And it's a relatively simple one. So I think I'll have something that looks already pretty good. And then when something better comes along, I'm going to take that and get rid of mine. So I'm not going to invest a lot of time and energy on it because I know I'm not keeping it. All right, so there's Barry Windham, the Barbarian. We made the Barbarian. Let's get a close-up look at that. From the Paul Jones. Now, here's the only problem is you can't, with the lettering, it shouldn't be like, sideways. It should be correct ways, but just going vertical. But you can't do that in the game, unfortunately. It won't let you roll the letters. And you only get 8 letters that you can use. Well, not letters, but letter slots. So you could put 8 words there if you wanted to. But in this case, if you try to do Barbarian, well, you got more than 8, so you're not going to get all the way down the list. So I had to improvise and go that route. But other than that, I'm happy with them. I think it's a pretty good facsimile. All right, let's see what else we got here. I think I probably made another 4 or 5 since the last time we checked out this. And I updated Dusty's attire. This is going to be pretty close, I think. I'm guessing he might have that robe that he wrestled Billy Graham in, which kind of has the diamond pattern cuts to it. But this is a similar style to one he actually did wear into a match back in that time period. And I put the boots up to date on there with the white boots and the red stars on them. Let's see, who else we got? Barbarian, Barry Windham. You guys have seen all these. Anybody else? Kamala we've seen. Kamala was a fun build. Let me get in here real quick and show you what we done to make this work out. So basically I took a white oval shape here, filled it all the way up, and then took the diamond type shape and put that in there and made it the same color as the skin. So now we're layering. And by doing that, we were able to give it the effect that I was looking for. Same thing, I put the circles around the eyes, and then you can kind of see it right there, the difference in the coloring. But in the match itself, you'd never notice it. It's so subtle. I could darken it slightly, and it'll match perfectly, but I'm good with that. But it also shows you kind of how we did it. So the oval was the entire face pretty much, and then just started blotting it out in sections and then putting more white on top and more brown on top. And that's kind of the way you got to customize that. Same thing with the mouth paint. Now, as for the stars, yeah, let's talk about the stars. The moon is the same logic. I just laid two colors over each other and then put the brown in the middle to give you the moon shape. Now, the stars, that's something a little bit different. And again, when the game's working properly with the servers and everything, you just upload the stars, you're good to go. But once you don't have that option anymore, you got to come up with a B plan. And this is our B plan. Let me see if I might have got rid of the other, okay. So basically what I did is I took a star. Let's go this route. Go to your group images. And basically I just took a star, cut off the point, make that black. The same thing again. Shrink it down just enough to give it that ledge, and then we made that an off-white right about there. And then from there I took that and layered it in 3 times. I twirled it around a little bit to give it the angles and stuff. And then you've got the 3-prong top, and then all you do is bring the same thing in again and then reverse it around on your character's body. So you have one upside down, one right side up, and then that gives you the star. So that's how we did that. Similar logic was being used with these little side plates that I'm not real happy with. There's no way to really cut out those circles there, the top portion. And then to match the color with the belt is pretty damn tough to do. I made a 4 horsemen logo for the jackets. So I took the Cena hand, and you see there I cut out the 3 fingers, and then I cut out the 1 finger, and put them together and made 4. My ESPN logo, I made that just using straight line effects and some mild twerking there. And let's see if the hearts. I'm trying to remember what I used that on. The diamond is my guess off the top of my head. Would have been the diamond and then a couple circles. Then you just bend them to the right angle. Skull was fun. As were the crossbows. The crossbows are actually very easy. You just take the straight lines and then put the hearts. So you have to make the heart first. But it's multi-purpose because then you put the heart at the end and that gives you the little bone effect. And then there is the freaking leopard print, which is actually from, what's his name? Enzo's. I don't know if it was a sign or something like that. Logo, one of those designs that you can pull from the wrestling roster of characters, and it was Enzo's. But believe me, it's not a solid pattern of leopard, so I had to like chop it and chop it and chop it and chop it probably about 12 times to get something that looked to the point where I was like, okay, I can get by with that. But at the end of the day, I think the final product isn't so bad. See, especially from a distance, you'd never know that there's a couple of like little Enzo-esque carvings in there. Just the pattern itself comes through. Chuck, how you doing, buddy? What's happening with you? So in a minute here, we'll go over the stuff I do to make the faces. And that's in the current games. So a lot of these guys have different textures already done. And I could probably, for this particular wrestler, I could easily get one, I'm sure. And maybe at the end of the day I will. Who knows? But what I've been doing in the past, and it seems to work pretty good as long as you get the mix right. Where are we at? There we go. Got Kimchi, Magnum TA. I did a little more detail on him. I took that floating scar, put it on his forehead, and thought that was a nice little added touch. Oh, yeah, the one-man gang. That was a not so easy one to do. I'm chilling, too. I'm chilling with you. And I should throw some sunglasses on him for the entrance. So basically took, I forget which vest, from probably one of the EY crew. And then that skull and crossbones that you saw earlier on. Just lay them on top of each other to get that effect. One-man gang is just the lettering, simple enough there. Let's see what glasses we want to throw on him. Yeah, I kind of like that. Did he not? I think he came in with a chain, especially early in the career. No, it's not going to play because of the vest. Fair enough. Was that the chain? I think it was, right? I always find it interesting how some things will work and some things won't, and it's all for the neck, so you think it would all work. Oh, Akeem was stupid. I'll never understand. I mean, the one-man gang and the big boss man, that would have been much better. One King, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I like how he carefully says sup, Chuck. He doesn't say up, Chuck. Because we are so adolescent in this group. Of course, I'm including myself. There I am, taking vacation time around a video game release, so yeah. One-man gang. Who else we got? Rocky King, we've already seen. These are all... Oh, yeah. Super fly. Came out really good. I was really surprised at how much I was happy with the way this thing turned out. Yeah, we are waiting. So that's the same leopard print we saw. It looks a little bit better on him. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's the same leopard print that I used for Kamala. And I was talking to Blazed earlier. Hopefully you guys had a chance to catch that stream on his channel. About how much 2K18 really helped me this run with it now that I've been working on so far as my creation skills are concerned, because I never really understood the value of the face templates that they have and the different ones. And then I look at what 2K24 is going to have. You're going to have the face template, yes, but then you're also going to have different skins to map over it, which I think is a pretty good thing where, you know, for people like me that don't do the face scans that often or as often, I think it'll make a big difference. But that all said, I think this is pretty damn not bad for Superfly. No, I don't have the missing link because they don't have... I mean, there's a couple of different hairstyles you can kind of cheat your way through. But, you know, his hair is just such a massive part of his identity. And if I can't do it right, I'd rather not. So that's kind of where I've been with that. All right, I think you guys have seen everybody else in the party here, so... Superstar Billy Graham. So now what I'm going to do is show you guys how I make faces. Let's go. Guess I could have stayed where I was. Where you at? There he is. So obviously Ric Flair will not be in the game. I'm happy that they have the multiple versions of Charlotte, because hopefully the theme music will be accompanying it properly, in which case we'll have a good enough Flair song so far as the theme entrance. But again, what I'm looking at right now is the face. And like I said, I know, well, you know what, with that hair in the way, though, maybe this is not... And there's a workaround for that as well. But in this particular case, I don't know if I want to use the face or not. Simply because the hair is really going to chop it up a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to find one. But what I would have normally done is I get in all tight and close like that, and I'll take a screen capture of that. You want to get it as dead center as you can. What the heck, we'll do it. Alright, so let me grab that, and let me go here. And there's probably 100 different ways of doing this, and I'll bet you a bunch of them are easier. This is the one that works for me, and kind of what I do. I'm going to switch to my other monitor here where I've got Publisher open. It's a very simple program if you've never used it. There's my screen grab, and all I'm going to do right now is crop everything out except for Rick's face. And I'm grabbing this off of my OBS stream because I do not run the PS4 or PS5 rather through the computer, so otherwise I just slow it the hell down too much. And then I'll do is kind of expand it, take up almost the whole page, like so. Doesn't matter about the overrun because we're going to end up cropping all that crap out anyway. Then let's go to Save As. Go Browse. I'm going to throw this up on the desktop. Makes it easy to find. And we'll put in RF for Ric Flair. Then you want to save it as a PNG or a PNG file, because that's going to make everything that you delete invisible, which is what you want. And we save that. Okay. Now I'll make that go away. Next thing I'm going to do is open my Photoshop, but there's a bunch of other programs out there that will do the same exact thing. Some of them are freely available online, and most of them are going to look very much the same because everybody copies. All right, so here's my Photoshop. Make that go full screen, maybe. Why is it not going full screen? That's interesting. Well, that's fine. I'll work around it. We're going to open. We're going to grab the RF image, like so. And then I'm going to grab faces. Wrong one. No, this is right. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of them. So these 4 down here are all blanks. And then I just try to figure out which skin tone is going to most work for the one I'm working on currently. And I'm guessing this one. And I already know from a size standpoint, this is the right size to get the optimal effect out of it. It's so strange why it's not going up to the top. But anyway. So all I want to do is go back here first. Then we're going to take this elliptical tool here. And basically what we're going to do is just carve out. Move that over a little bit there. Did I take? I might have took the wrong piece. Hold on a minute. That should be it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and then we're going to just grab it. No, it's not working. Hold on a minute. What am I doing wrong? Could use this, I'm sure, and get similar. There's different shapes you can use. You don't have to use this stupid thing. Yeah, it'll work though. So I'm just going to take it like that. I could have took a nice simple round one instead of the jagged edges, but in a minute it won't matter because it isn't going to stay that way. And then just drag the face over the top like that. And then we go to work. And this is why that PNG file is what you were looking for, because it'll make it easier at this point in time. So let's bring that down quite a bit. And then we're just going to erase all that stuff here. Let me get the feathered brush. So these are all layers if you're not familiar, and right now the highlighted one is the one that you're going to be adjusting, so it won't affect the background because it's not highlighted. If I wanted to, I could highlight both of them and work on both of them at the same time, but I'm not going to do that right now. The reason I generally use the feather effect around here is that it'll give you a softer blend between the two. As you can see, all this dark shading over here, that is not going to translate well at all. So I'm going to remove that completely. And the reality is I'm not going to use this particular scan. I'm just showing you how I do them. And then once you have it down to the part where you've got just the face that you're looking for, next thing I'm going to do is go over and watch it at least once. So you want to make sure your opacity is set to about 50%, give or take, depending on how bold the picture actually is that you're using. And then just kind of do a fade like that. In this case, I probably could have gone a little less. Control Z gets you out of that. Maybe 27%. Yeah, because you want to keep some of that darkness in there and some of the shadowing in there, because it will help a little bit. Now, this section here, that's pretty extraordinary shadowing, so I'd have to tweak that out a bunch more too. But that's a general way it works for me. And then you can resize your picture to make sure. I have another template that actually has where the eye should be, where the nose should be, and all that, just to make sure it's a nice, easy, simple move. And then if it's off kilt a little bit, you can just straighten it up. And that's pretty much how I did it. So I did make one for Vince McMahon. Looks like it should be pretty good. We'll know tomorrow. But yeah, so that's how I do my face scans when I'm making them. Doesn't always have to come from the game either, by the way. Sometimes I'll take a picture off of a YouTube video or from the network. Maybe they're cutting a promo or something like that. There was a guy a few years back. One of the first interviews I did was a guy named Tonguelist. And that was a guy who made some incredible stuff. And he was around for 2K18 and 19. I believe he's from Sweden. I know he didn't get around to buying the game the last few years. I might reach out to him and see what he's up to. See if he's going to get back into it this year or not. But he was one of the top creators, and his face scans were so on point. And I asked him, I said, you're making guys from the 70s and the 80s with incredible accuracy in their faces. Where are you getting because I'm looking through photos and stuff to use myself, and, they're all from the 80s, so they're a little grainy. That's not good quality, but he's got top-notch stuff. And I'm asking him where he's getting it from, and he says, well, I just watched, the videos, and whether it's a DVD or whatever it is, on the computer, and then when I find them doing a promo, I just do a screen capture of it. And I'm like, dadgummit, it was that easy. So that's what gave me the idea. Damn, Primetime, you've been around a minute then. Thank you. The zombie invasion. Boy, Pures, you have the ability to come up with topics that are completely off the wall from what we're talking about. Where were you talking about 2K24? You're talking about zombie invasions. Gotta love it. Speaking of zombie invasions, I started to watch a little bit of the new Rick Grimes Walking Dead. I gave up on the Daryl. I'm not French. I don't speak French, and I'm not going to spend an hour just reading comments on the bottom of the screen, because then you're not watching the show. You're not seeing the actors and their faces and the scenery and all that stuff because you're busy reading subtitles. I hate subtitles with a passion. First thing I disable with every game I get is the subtitles. Out. All right, what else was I going to do? Oh, I can show you. Let's see. I've already put some belts together. That is to say, I have the artwork ready to go. And so here we go. These are ones that I've collected over a period of time. And let me... I gotta highlight many of them, I guess. Let's go this way. Ah. There we go. And one of the cool things about these is that you can, if you've never created a belt, is you can remove the color. And this is what I did with the old Bob Backlund belt, the big green, the first year when they had the strap, but they didn't actually make the belt itself, I don't think. But they had the strap available. And basically I just took the, very much like this, and then removed all the color and then just embossed the crap out of it. And it's a really cool effect. You can make some pretty cool looking belts that way. But these I have collected over the last several years from different websites and individuals. Florida Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. The old United States Championship. And some side plates. I like this belt a lot. I think this is very, very cool. If my belt guy was selling this, I would probably buy it. This is what we were using at the beginning of this last season for Empire Wrestling. It's part of UPW. These are my UPW belts. Here's the Empire Tag Team belt. There's your FTW. Oh, there's the green. Yeah, so basically I could take this, put it over the green belt itself, and then just wash out the color and then bring up the embossing, and all that stuff will just appear and it'll look really cool. There's our House of Honor Championship. Some old Impact stuff. Oh, what was that? Lucha Underground there. Belt of the Gods or something like that. The Mid-Atlantic. Some of these I didn't even realize I have. I'm looking through them now going, geez Louise, you had them all. The television champion. Is that Georgia, I think? I think it's Georgia. U.S. title with some color. The North American, which is what the Tony Khan mapped his, what is it, the Women's Championship after? There's your Mid-South. Funny thing about the NWA back in the days, all their belts are pretty much the same, just matter what was written on it. The MLW. I liked this title. I don't know if they're still running with this one or not, but I always liked this one. I thought it was a pretty good looking belt. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, again, this looks kind of cartoony, right? But if you do what I said, and the plate is already there, so you take the blank plate and put it on, and then you put this over the plate, and you make it invisible, and then you just go to town on the embossing, and man, you'll be amazed what you get. I know I was. The NWA National Champion, Junior Champion. Yeah, I really didn't know I had this many. North American. Tag team. Now the old one, is this a U.S.? Yeah, U.S. Dusty Rhodes held that title at one point in time. The women's tag team title. Boy, that actually has a little reminiscence, though, of the big gold. What I liked about this one here is you could insert anyone's picture here, because that's basically what it was there, was a picture holder. Speaking of NWA Women's Championship, and here's what the tag team titles, yeah. What do you think the odds are that if they didn't get Sasha, which it, I don't know. Doesn't seem like they're going to get Sasha. Then my guess is they got Camille. I'm wondering what the odds would be that she would show up at Mania and mess with somebody. The only downside is there's just way too many people that aren't going to have a clue who the hell she is, and that's sad. But I think, for me personally, that would be a good pop. I don't even know which belt this is. Hold on a minute. Oh, the Owen Hart Tournament Cup winner. Is this the Owen Hart belt from the AEW? Jeez, it's ugly. ROH. Side plates. TNA. Oh, there's our HCW Global Championship. That was the original one. And here's the one that was much better. You know, what I had done, same logic. I just cut out the logos only, put it over the silver or the metal, and then did what I said. You know, embossed the crap out of it, took out the color. I ended up manually putting in the red using some shapes for the W, but everything else I embossed out. And then this thing came along, and I said, never mind, don't need it no more. This is beautiful. I do like this belt a lot. I would probably buy this if he had this one. The one that came with the game for people that bought the championship belt package isn't the same style as that. It's got a different design to it. Women's tag team. Oh, the 6-man tag team. I don't know why nobody brings that back. Well, AEW does, I guess, but the Cruiserweight tag team titles. That was from WCW, and it was barely even a thing. I forget who it was that won the titles, but I don't know if they ever even defended them because they went belly up very quickly after that. Many of these did come from Hellfire Designs, so you can check him out at these different locations. I'm sure he's still there. Didn't all come from him, but a lot of them did. Here we go. The Intercontinental Championship. This was on the green belt, if I'm not mistaken. This looks to me to be the one that Greg Valentine destroyed in a steel cage match. Or it could have been this one, actually. Yeah, shape-wise, I'm going to say it was this one. Ladies World Tag. The old WWF Tag Team titles. Boy, this is what the Sheik and Volkov and Wyndham and Rotundo held this. And this is the plate that I used for the big green belt. And again, took out all the color and then just popped it all out there with the embossing. This would have been the tag team belt. I want to say that Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson held. It would have been, I want to say, a red strap. And here are the ones that I just made today. Well, I didn't make them. They were already there, but found them online and then cleaned them up. I made them the PNG file so that the background is all gone. And pretty much the same belts that we're running now. I just don't have access to the artwork that he used, so I made my own. And we'll upload that. We'll give it a metallic finish. And hopefully it'll look good. So that's one of those things we're going to be doing tomorrow. How am I doing my universe mode? What do you mean, how am I doing it? Same as always. We already kind of kicked off the setup for it with the XPW. Or XWF, I beg your pardon. Again, if anyone's not familiar with the XWF, it was a promotion that came along when WCW had lost the wars on Monday. It came along in between that and Hogan and company and the NWO showing up in the WWF. So during that down period of however many months that was, where Hogan left the WCW because they were out of business. Actually, he left before that because of Vince Russo. But anyway, from the time WCW went out of business to the time Hogan joined with the NWO in the WWF, that is when the XWF was being founded. Jimmy Hart, Brian Knobbs, a couple other individuals, and then they got Hogan to at least endorse it and put his name in it. They shot about 5 to 7 episodes over at Universal Studio Soundstage here in Orlando, and never got picked up by a show or TV network. And then Hogan signed, and that was it. They were pretty much done. The Hogan name was the thing they were going to be banking on. So I've already introduced that. And if you didn't see today's stream earlier, that's a good show, and you want to stick around to the end because it sets up tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will start at 10 p.m. I don't think I'm going to do anything prior to that, but you never know. But definitely 10 p.m. tomorrow night. We're going to have the first XWF pay-per-view. It's called No Turning Back. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, I think primetime you might be right. Kidman and Mysterio sounds right. And like I said, I don't think they even defended the titles. Yeah, XWF had the ability to be something. I mean, they were never going to rival the WWF or WCW, but they could have been a good alternate promotion. So I thought Hogan was owner as well. He was not the owner. In my storyline, he is, but in the reality, he didn't own it. He just came along and was kind of hanging out while he was waiting for a paycheck to come from somewhere else, and then Vince decided to bring in the NWO. Because I'm going to kill my creation. Me and the NWO. But all those names were involved. Valentine was there. Mr. Perfect was there. It was a great lineup of talent. It really was. All right, so what else? We did belts. We did faces. Yeah, so tomorrow at 10 p.m., we're going to do this PLE type event for XWF, and that's going to really set the table for the season. Again, if you're into Universe Mode, if that's your thing and you still haven't bought the game and you're on the fence, you want to see stuff, well, Universe Mode is the thing that I'm going to be focusing on a lot tomorrow once it goes live. That and Create a Wrestler. Obviously, I'll look at a few of the... I want to see Superstar Billy Graham and all that. And the new... Well, the alternate version of Dusty. I want to see some of these returning stars like Stacy Keibler, if they're going to give alternate attires from last year, or if we're going to get a copy and paste of the exact same thing. So that's the kind of stuff that'll happen in the first stream, which I'm, depending if I get a good enough nap in during the evening, I'll probably go somewhere till 3 or 4 in the morning. Yep, Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lawler were the announce team, along with Mean Gene Okerlund doing the interviewing. Again, had a lot of potential. on this one, I think I have the next card is supposed to be the big showdown over in Texas. Was it Star Wars or did I just do Star Wars? I can't even remember anymore. Let me see something. Universe. Waiting to see if one of our mod people ends up unlocking the Lesnar model and getting it posted. You have to download it quick if it happens. Of course, with the creation community out there, they're going to make one that looks like the real thing and maybe even better. Calendar. Oh, I don't have anything set up. I thought I did. Okay, never mind. No PLE. I guess I need to then, because that was the whole idea as we were leading up to this big showdown, because I'm supposed to have Harley, or did I do that? I might have already done that show. Oh, we just did it. Never mind. Yeah, so many different shows and different leagues and different games going on. Can't keep them track. All right, that's 2K18. Like I said, tomorrow 10 p.m. we'll be going, and that'll be a fun show, I'm hoping. Anytime you put 2K in front of it, you're never really sure what you're going to get. Yep, Piper and Sable were the commissioners. That rounds out most of their hierarchy there, even though it's a lot of it fictitious, but all right, everybody. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking this out. Just wanted to say temporary farewell to 2K18. Like I said, I'm still going to want to do Retro Rumbles, which is where we play the old games. And right now, 2K18 is the one that's been really entertaining me for the last probably 2-3 months now. Considering I was really pissed when I realized I deleted my save data by accident. Turned out for the best, because I don't remember what the roster was exactly. I know some of these guys that I've made were probably on it, but I don't think they looked as good as they do now. So sometimes a bad thing can be a good thing. That is my free lesson for the day to everybody. All right, guys, I'm winding it down. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you tomorrow night. And we're going to count it down one more time, only this time it's going to be right to the midnight hour. See you then. Be safe. Take care.